दृश्यमाननगरी तुल्यन्निजान्तर्गतं पश्यन्नात्मनि मायया बहिरिवोद्भूतं यथा निद्रया यस्साक्षात् कुरुते प्रबोधसमये स्वात्मानमेवाद्वयं तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः इदं श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये बीजस्यान्तरिवाङ्कुरो जगदिदं प्राङ्निर्विकल्पं पुनः मायाकल्पितदेशकालकलना वैचित्र्यचित्रीकृतं मायावीव विजृम्भयत्यपि महायोगी वयस्वेच्छया तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः इदं श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः इदं श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ नमः श्रीशङ्करानन्द गुरुपादाम्बुजन्मने सविलासमहामोह ग्राहग्रासैककर्मणि। Verse 49. सविकल्पस्य लक्ष्यत्वे लक्ष्यस्य स्यादवस्तुता निर्विकल्पस्य लक्ष्यत्वं न दृष्टं न च संभवी। विकल्पो निर्विकल्पस्य सविकल्पस्य वा भवेत् आद्ये व्याहतिरन्यत्र अनवस्थात्माश्रयादयः। So this is a part of Mananam we have started from verse number 49 to verse 53. We have seen Shravanam from verse number 33 to 48, in which we have done analysis of Mahavakya, and we have arrived at conclusion that an individual is has a oneness with the Ishvara. There are two names, but not there are two entities. Jiva and Ishvara are two names, not two entities. There is only one entity, that is Brahman. So limitless consciousness, etc. And now that is the purport of the Shastra. And now in the Mananam we are checking whether this knowledge we have got a firm knowledge or not. So if knowledge is free from any kind of a doubt, then we are ready for Nididhyasana. So this is a Mananam in which a sample doubt is created. Sample. There are several types of doubt here, and the doubt is created by a Nayayika. We have seen that yesterday, that all Shastras basically, he says that entire group of words have activity in revealing the meaning of the word. That's correct. But basically, when words can only reveal a meaning when that particular object or a meaning has some vishesha, either jati, guna, kriya and dravya or sambandha. Otherwise, if jati is not there in an object, if guna is not there, if it has no relation with anything, if it has not a dravyam, if it has not any kriya, then all the words in a language fail, because only words reveal always a features of an object, and therefore if features are not there, vastu is nirvishesham, then it cannot, words have no activity at all, words cannot function basically. So this is how he says. And therefore, O Vedantin, you are saying that you said Mahavakya reveals this nirvishesha vastu, you have arrived at. But whether such a nirvishesha vastu is there or not, vastu without, free from all kinds of vishesha, free features, is there or not? That's a question. And so he is asking a question, is the Brahman revealed by the words, is Savishesham or Nirvishesham? That's a question. That was told in verse 49. Savikalpasya lakshatve lakshasya syada vastuta. Savikalpasya, Savisheshasya. So, if a vastu, laksham means your Brahman. So, if Brahman is Savikalpam, Savishesham, then lakshasya, Brahmanaha, then Brahman has avastuta. Brahman will become mithya. Because you only said anything which is sagunam is mithya. And sagunam Brahma in your Vedanta is this entire creation, is sagunam Brahma. Jagat is sagunam Brahma. And therefore, well, it is mithya. You only have said Brahma Satyam Jagan Mithya. And therefore, it is mithya. So, is Vedanta, the Upanishad reveals Savishesham, Brahma or Nirvishesham? You tell. If a Savishesham is there, then it is mithya. And if it is mithya, then why should I know it? Well, then it doesn't serve any purpose. It does not give me any liberation, etc. Nothing will happen by knowing mithya vastu. Nothing is going to happen. And therefore, and if you say Nirvikalpasya lakshatvam, Nirvikalpam, Nirvishesham, Nirgunam, well, if Brahman is Nirvishesham, na drashtam, na cha sambhavi. Nirvishesha vastu cannot be revealed by words. Words, all the words in a language, pick up any word. It will always talk about either a jati, guna, kriya, sambandha or dravya. Your Brahman is neither has a jati, neither it has a guna, neither it is nishkriyam, it's actionless, and it is not a dravya, it is not a supporter of any kind of attributes, you are saying, and also it has no relationship, you are telling asangam Brahma. And therefore, basically, how your Upanishadic words and how your teacher's words can reveal Nirvishesha Vastu. And Nirvishesha Vastu cannot be experienced also, na drashtam. Cannot be experienced. How will you experience Nirvishesha Vastu? Naturally, what you experience must have some features. Any feature must be there. And therefore, na drashtam, na cha sambhavi. Na cha sambhavi means it is not possible also. Logically not possible. Nirvishesha Vastu cannot be there. Really. You can take any object in the creation, big, small, anything, starting from COVID-19. Anything you take, really, it has a Vishesha. And so virus is a jati. For the very first thing, it is jati. And then other so many features are there. So, if a object, a substance, without any features, how can anyone know that? And how can one experience that? And if you cannot experience, then how will you say that such a Nirgunam Brahma is there? If you don't know, how can you say Vastu is there? So if you say Savishesham Brahma, Sagunam Brahma, then it is Mithya, then your Upanishad is totally useless, it does not give me anything. By knowing Mithya Vastu, it doesn't serve purpose, and if Nirvishesham you are saying, then Nirvishesham cannot be known, cannot be experienced, and no words can reveal Nirvishesha Vastu also, and therefore, tell me, what is your answer? What does Upanishad reveal? You have done Shravanam for 15 years. Tell me now. Upanishad Shravanam you have done for several years. Tell me what is it? So we can't say anything. Either way we are in trouble. And so this is a doubt, simple doubt created. And then whatever Shravanam is there we have done, it is now at stake. It is at stake. Whole thing, we also worry that, yeah, that's correct. What we have heard is really what then? So Shravanam is complete when it is free from the doubt. Then only it is. Knowledge is knowledge when it is free from doubt. Doubtful knowledge is as good as ignorance. Yesterday only I told you. It is as good as ignorance. Anyway, then in verse 50, Vidyaranya says, Vikalpo nivikalpasya savikalpasya va bhavet Adye vyahatihi anyatra anavastha atma shreyadayah, etc. etc. So when the Purvapakshi raises such a question, then Vidyaranya can approach two ways, but here he first shows a logical fallacy with respect to the same subject matter. With Savishesham Brahma, we are going to ask him, what is the definition of Savishesha Vastu in you? Our Savishesham is Mithya, that you don't worry. Let keep it aside. But what is your definition in your philosophy? How do you define Savishesha Vastu? You may not be accepting that Brahman, oh forget it, but any Savishesha Vastu, how do you define? That's what we are asking him. And definitely it has logical fallacies. 5 types of logical fallacies are there. And this is the way you see Vidyaranya's brilliance. All these logical fallacies we have come across in our Shravana at one or other time. Atmashraya and Anyonya Ashraya and etc. Everything. And Anavastha and several things. Infinite regression and this mutual dependence and cyclicity and everything. You will, when we do that, you will, yeah, we have seen that, you will say. So he includes all these doshas. He is teaching us all these doshas in a logical thinking, which is a part of Manana. So, Vidyaranya says, well, you define Savishesha Vastu. Then, Nayayika says, this doubt from Nayayika. So, Nayayika says, Vishesha is an attribute and which resides in a substance. Well, definitely. Vishesha is an attribute which resides in a substance. Jati resides in what? In a substance. Right? Species is where? In a substance. Guna is where? Attributes are where? In a substance. It may be physical attributes, it may be a mental, emotional attributes, any attribute. But there is a locus where it resides. So any attribute, any Vishesha any feature cannot independently exist, and which rests upon a substance. So the definition, and this is a definition of a Vishesha, feature. Definition of substance is, well, which is a locus of attributes. Definition of Vishesha is that which does not exist independently and which always resides in a substance. And substance definition is that it is a locus of attributes, right? Simple definitions. So substance and attributes combined together become Savishesham. Attributes may Vishesha. Substance is where it's a locus, a supporter and supported, etc. In Sanskritam they call Adhara and Adheya. Adhara means a locus. Adheya means which is support, a attribute which resides in that substance. So this is how, we say, that is your definition, yeah. Now we will show you 5 fallacies in your Savishesha Vastu. Who is telling? We are telling. We are telling him. So how are we going to show? Well, see, first ask the question. Where does an attribute reside? Well, then he says substance, right? And then we answer the possibility. We answer this, we ourselves offer 3 possibilities for that. See, substance is S. Now you can keep a chart near you. A substance is S. Attribute is A1, let's say. A1. A means attribute. And we say there are 3 possibilities. Possibility has been shown as A, B and C. Capital A, B, C. 3 possibilities are there. That A1 attribute, it may be resting on a substance which is without attribute. Right? That attribute A1, that Vishesha A1, is maybe resting on a substance which is without attribute. So S minus A. Vastu is a Nirvishesham, that substance is Nirvishesham, and in that the particular attribute A1 resides. That is a possibility. That Savishesham means what? This is one possibility. Or else, even attribute resting on a substance which has already got an attribute A1. Right? Which has already got an attribute A1. So A1 attribute resides in already Savishesha Vastu. But that Savishesha Vastu possesses the Vishesha which is already, it possesses an attribute which is same as the attribute which we are talking about. So this is, I will give you example, don't worry. So this is a second possibility. And third possibility is even attribute resting in a substance which has got an attribute but different attribute. So we will say A2 attribute. So could you follow? Attribute resides in a substance. That substance can be free from attributes. That is the first possibility, A. Then second possibility is, it is not, the substance is not free from attribute. It is already Savishesham, in which our A1 attribute resides. That Savishesham Vastu possesses the Vishesha which is same as the attribute which we are talking. So A1 rests in substance already possessing A1 attribute, or A1 attribute resides in a substance possessing a different kind of attribute. So this is how we say. These three possibilities are there. And now I will show the fallacy in all the three. First we will show the fallacies, logical fallacy in A and B. What is the logical fallacy in A? See, attribute is resting in attributeless substance, right? S minus A. So it is a substance, but it is a nirvishesha vastu. And in that our A1 attribute resides. So attribute is resting in a attributeless substance. But this is contradiction. If substance by nature is nirvishesham, how can attribute reside in that? This is like saying what, This is like saying a person who is constantly speaking and he says, I am a dumb. Now how will you accept that? Is a person who is constantly speaking, he says, I am a dumb. This is called contradiction. A person is basically extremely poor and tells that I am a born rich person. This is vadato vyagata, we call. Vadataha vyagata. Vadataha vyagata means what, While speaking itself, there is a contradiction. We sometimes give other example also. The person is telling me that Swamiji, I am observing silence since 10 years. Person says what? I am observing silence in 10 years. So this is contradiction. Attribute cannot reside in a nirvishesha vastu. Vastu is nirvishesham. Substance is by nature it is attributeless. In that end no attribute can reside. And therefore even resides in a attributeless substance is a logically wrong statement. And what logical fallacy it has? Well, it is a vyagataha. Vyagataha means contradiction. Vyagata dosha, and Vidyaranya Swami calls it as a vyahatihi. Vyahatihi means vyagataha is equal to contradiction. Please, I will remind you here. There is another word also in Sanskritam called vyahritihi. Like in Gayatri Mantra, we have Om Bhur Bhuva Suvaha. Bhuhu, Bhuvaha, Suvaha are called vyahritis. And vyahritis definition is there, but I will not go right now. Then later I will tell you also. That definition of vyahriti also I will give you. But here, so vyahriti and vyahati are different things. So here vyahati means a vyagataha or contradiction. And so first possibility, he has defined savishesha vastu like this. Savishesha vastu means Vishesha resides in a substance. And substance is a supporter of that Vishesha, feature. Well, we say, if you are defining like that, in your definition of Savishesha vastu, these fallacies are there. And so, we have shown the possibility. If Vishesha resides in a substance you are telling, then Vishesha resides in a substance which is attributeless, nirvishesham, first possibility, or Vishesha resides in a vastu which is already possessing the same attribute, or Vishesha resides in a vastu which is having an attribute but different from the what attribute we are talking. So now let's go to the B possibility. That A1 attribute resting in a substance which has already got attribute, same attribute. So attribute A1 resting in S plus A1. That substance S has already attribute A1. And therefore, basically that is also a problem. Attribute A1 resting in S plus A1. So S plus A1, A1 attribute resting in S plus A1, because A1 is resting in A1. That's what it is going to happen. So equation you used to write A1 resting in S plus A1. So S plus A1 you put in bracket and outside you write A1. So A1 resides in S plus A1 means what? A1 resides in S and A1 resides in A1, right? And therefore that already A1 resides in A1 means what? The same attribute resides in, the attribute resides in a same attribute. This is a wrong thing. It's called Atma Shraya. Like This is also example. I am sitting. Where are you sitting? Oh, I am sitting in my lap. What are you talking? I am sitting in my lap. It is not. Supporter and supported are different things. So A1 attribute which is supported in substance possessing the same attribute means what? A1 attribute resides in a same attribute. Well, that cannot be. That cannot be because supporter, same attribute cannot be the supporter, and that same attribute cannot be the supported also. Will be different. And that is this is called Atma Shreyah. We are talking about a Sambandha. Sambandha requires two things at least, Dvinishtaha. And Dvinishtaha means there are two different things. Oh, Swamiji, I have a relationship with myself. What are you talking? So you have a relationship with your brother, sister, etc. I have a relationship with myself. This is a way of saying, but anyway, this is not correct. So Atma Ashraya. In English, we call self-dependence. Ashraya, dependence. Atma means self. Here means self-dependence, resting in itself. Don't think Atma means Satchidananda, etc. Atma means here resting in itself. So even resting in itself cannot be. Even is a supported and even is a supporter also. Even is a adheya and even is a adhara also. Cannot be. Adhara, adheya, two different things. You can tell I am sitting on a table. That's how you can say. Or I am sitting in a chair. You can say. But I am sitting in my lap. You cannot say. That is what it is. So, and therefore that possibility also has a dosha. Even attribute resides in a substance which has the same attribute. Well, that cannot be. Then third possibility. Even attribute resting, that is a C. Even attribute resting in a substance which has got attribute but different. A2. Let's say A2. Even resting in A2. That is possible. That there are both, it has no self-dependence because different attribute, and also it doesn't have a Vyaghata because substance is already Savishesha Vastu, and therefore it can have another attribute also, and therefore it can have another attribute. There is no problem. You can understand what I am saying. See, all these are Visheshas. Like right now, see my body. I have a Jati. This body has a Jati or not? It has a Jati. It has other attributes like skin, color skin, and this and that, and male and something. All these are attributes. And then, definitely emotional attributes are also there. And then Kriya. This basically, I have a Kriya also. The Kriya, the particular Vishesha feature also is there. I am speaking right now. And then I have a relationship with all of you like that, right? We all are studying together like this. So I have a relationship with other people. And so Jati, Guna, Kriya, and I am a substance also, in which all this stays. Jati is here, Guna is here, and my body is perceptible to you. Dravya means I have already told you. It is available for perception. So what is available for perception can be described by the words, and therefore that also is there. So what I am saying is, I may be having several attributes. Jati also may be there, Guna also may be there, Kriya also may be there, and so it is possible that even attribute resting in a substance already possessing different attribute. That is there. And therefore, the third possibility, in that third possibility we don't find two doshas. That Vyaghata, contradiction is not there, and self-dependence is not there because the attribute is different. Even attribute resides in A2, a substance along with the A2 attribute. Okay. But now the question arises that A2 attribute resides in a substance, you are saying. A1 resides in a substance with a A2 attribute, right? You can look into the C possibility. In a stage 1, C possibility. So there you will find A1 resides in a substance with A2 attribute. Now, that A2 attribute resides in a substance. That substance is without attribute or with attribute. That's a question. Could you follow? So, A2 attribute, you are writing that A1 resides in S plus A2. Okay, A2 attribute resides in a substance S. That is, that substance is with attribute or without attribute. Now, to answer that, you will have to go to stage 2. So stage 2 has come now. Okay. Now A2 is resting in a substance. What type of substance it is? It is, there are four possibilities. There are four possibilities. So this is, I don't worry, this will not come again. This is I mean only once in Pancadasi. Afterwards there will not be a problem. Don't worry. So don't create any kind of prejudice for Pancadasi. Initially, Swamiji, this kind of things are there, then what is there in the next chapters? Nothing is there, don't worry. So, but you should know, these are the logical fallacies we should know, because Bhashya etc. also talks about, teachers also talk about, and so you should be aware of that what is this Atmashraya, what is this Vyagataha, etc. etc. Anyway, so A2 is resting in a substance. Which type of substance it is, we are asking. And there are four possibilities. He is not telling, because he gets confused. So we are showing the possibilities. First, second stage A. A2 can rest in a substance which is free from any attribute. S minus A2. S minus A. Nirvishesha vastu. That is not possible. You know very well. Attribute cannot rest in a attributeless substance. Right? Attribute cannot rest in a attributeless substance. That is called Vyagata, contradiction. Speechless, I mean the person who is constantly speaking. They call in English, I think, chatterbox. So, chatterbox. And in India, the particular community, particular state people, I will not tell that, but particular, group of people in a particular state, they are called all chatterbox. In their surnames also have that chatter. Anyway, so I don't want to say that. Anyway, this is, take it lightly. So A2 can rest in a substance which is free from attribute. That cannot be. Attribute-less substance cannot be a supporter of attributes. And that is a Vyagata. Anyway, so that is Vyagata, contradiction. Okay, second possibility. Stage 2 may, you just look into B. A2 resting in S plus A1. A2 is resting in S plus A1. That is not correct. Why? Why it is not correct? Because you see, stage 1C you see. 1C. There we are saying A1 is resting in S plus A2. So A1 is resting in A2. Let's take this way right now. A1 is resting in A2. Here we are saying A2 is resting in A1. That how can be? How can it be possible? It is called mutual dependence. There cannot be a mutual dependence, and therefore, well, this is A2 is resting in S plus A1 is also not possible. And so one person went to another person and he said, this is in pandemic, I have lost my job, and I want to borrow some money from you because to run family etc, and I need some money. Well, and I will get a job within 2 months. Trump will definitely give me a job, and therefore I will then afterwards I will repay everything. He says, what are you saying? Oh, I was about to come to your home. Oh, for what? Giving money? No. I have also lost the job, and therefore I was about to come to your place. I wanted to borrow from you. Now this is how it is possible. Mutual dependence. It is not possible. So mutual dependence will not work. That's a dosha. So A1 is resting in A2. That is stage 1C. And in stage 2B we are saying A2 is resting in A1. Well, that's not correct. Mutual dependence is not correct. It is called Anyonya Ashraya. That's a dosha. All of the teachers have used this word. Wherever you are listening to any Vedantic teacher, they will one or other time they will bring out this. Anyonya Ashraya. It is called mutual dependence. Atmashraya is self-dependence. Vyagataha, contradiction. Right? We have seen 3 types of dosha till this point. Okay, now let's go to the third C possibility in the stage 2. Okay, because A2 is not, A2 can't reside in A1, so A2 can reside in S plus A2. A2 can reside in A2. How can it reside? We have already seen, right? Just check, you see, our first stage B, you see, A1 resides in A1, right? Where there we said that. So that is what kind of a dosha? Atmashraya, self-dependence. I am sitting in my lap, like that. Well, same way here, A2 resides in A2 means what? Atmashraya. Well, A2 is supported, and A2 becomes a supporter. No. Supporter, supported are different things. Adhar Adeya Sambandha is there. Adhar Adeya Sambandha. Sambandha requires two things. So therefore Adhara is also A2 and Adeya also A2. Cannot be. Could you follow? And therefore, well, definitely, so it is a self-dependence. Atmashraya. And that is dosha. Now, well, let's go to now D possibility. Okay, all the three in the second stage, all the three have a dosha. Contradiction, that is Vyagataha. A possibility has a Vyagata dosha. B possibility has a Anyonya Ashraya, that is called mutual dependence. And C possibility has a self dependence. Clear? And therefore, let's go to the D possibility. A2 cannot reside in A1. A2 cannot reside in a substance which is free from the attribute. A2 cannot reside in a substance with A1 attribute. A2 cannot reside in a substance with A2 attribute. Then A2 can, here this is not A2 milk, huh? So A2 resides in a substance, well, with A3. Take it, A3. Different type of attribute. Then what? Okay, we'll show you something. So we will have to now go to the third. Okay, why? Wait a minute. Why do you want to go to the third stage? Because problem. The question we have asked in the stage 1, at the end of stage 1, same question is again coming. So A3 attribute, we are asking him. So you are saying S plus A3. So that attribute A2 is resting in S plus A3 or resting in A3 attribute. Then A3 is resting in what type of substance? You are writing S plus A3. S means substance. And it has a A3 attribute. A3 resides in a substance S. That substance is free from attribute or with attributes? Oh, then we'll have to go to third stage. Okay, let's go to third stage. So stage 3. Stage 3. Oh, you have so many days, so don't worry. So you have a fortnight and you can ponder over the entire chart and you can bring you lots of questions after 15 days, no problem. But right now, please pay an attention. So this is a stage 3 and here there is a first possibility. What question we have asked? A3 attribute resides in a substance because you are writing S plus A3. So attribute A3 resides in a substance. That substance is free from attribute or with attributes or without attribute. You tell us. So he said, well, it has no attributes. A3 attributes reside in a substance S, which is free from the attribute, S minus A. Well, that is how it is possible. Attributeless substance cannot be locus of attribute. Simple. Attributeless substance, by nature which is attributeless, cannot be a locus of attribute. And therefore, Vyagata, right? Vyagata. A poor person says, I am born rich. I am Bill Gates. Well, this is therefore this is Vyagata. And they add also sometimes Vadataha Vyagataha. Vadataha. While speaking itself, there is a contradiction like that. Anyway, then the second possibility. Where A3 resides in S plus A1. A3 resides in A1. That is a cyclicity. That you have to understand very well. Now, you see in the chart I have written what? IC and 1C and 2D. So 1C and 2D. So just go to 1C. 1C is what? A1 resides in A2. Then 2D is what? A2 resides in A3. Right? And here we are saying A3 resides in A1. हो गया चक्कर. A1 resides in A2, A2 resides in A3, A3 resides in A1. So this is called cyclicity. That's a chakra. Chakratmakaha. That is a dosha. Like I will give you example. One person, he was reading some English article, and he found a word called garrulous. And then he thought, I don't know this, so let me check into dictionary. Then he opened the dictionary and he saw that word, garrulous. The meaning was given as a loquacious. See, he thought, what is this loquacious? I wanted to see the meaning of garrulous, and he found the word loquacious. Then he thought, he opened the dictionary, that L part in alphabet index. So loquacious. Then he went to the word loquacious. There he found the word voluble. And so then he went to the word voluble, V. And there where he went to voluble, there it was written garrulous. Okay. So from garrulous he has gone to loquacious. From loquacious he got meaning voluble. When he went to voluble he found garrulous. Don't think I have coined the words. These are there. So basically, and therefore what I am saying, this is called chakratmaka. You don't get anything. You wanted a meaning. You have got words. You have not got meaning. That's what it is. So this is how it is. So cyclicity, chakratmaka. A1 resides in A2. Okay. But then in stage 2 we saw A2 resides in A3. And then in the stage 3 we found A3 resides in A1. So that's all chakratmaka, cyclicity. So that is also a dosha. Now, okay, our A3 resides in S plus A3. A3 resides in A3. Don't say that. How many times we have to tell you? It is Atmashraya, self-dependence. There cannot be a self-dependence, right? There cannot be a self-dependence. You cannot become a locus for yourself. Sitting, etc. So A3 resides in A3, you cannot say. And well, so okay, now then the only possibility is A3 resides in A4. A3 resides in S plus A4. Okay, then A4 resides in substance S. Yeah. That substance is what? It is without attribute or with attribute? Oh, go to the next stage. Next stage, fourth stage. And this is how it will continue. This is how it will continue. Could you follow what I am saying? There again same doshas will come. Then you will say no, A5. And then A5 resides in what? Substance. It is that substance is with attribute or without attribute. And then you will say no, A6. And then A6 resides in a substance in which that substance is with attribute or without attribute. You don't think this I am making a joke of you, or I am making joke of the Shastra. We are going to prove that Savishesha Vastu is Mithya. Savishesha Vastu is Mithya, and Nirvishesha only makes a sense. Anyway, that we'll discuss when we meet together again. But what I am saying is, please understand these doshas today. And so, basically, this is called infinite regression. You keep on doing and doing, and still you have not arrived at what is Savishesha. Right? We have started with Savishesham from the stage 1. Vishesha means as per his definition, his logic, his darshanam, his philosophy. He says attribute resides in a substance, and substance is a locus of an attribute. Well, in that case, this is a problem. You have not arrived. You have got several doshas, starting from contradiction, self-dependence, and then mutual dependence, and then you got cyclicity, and ultimately infinite regression. You have not arrived at what is Savishesha Vastu. What is Savishesha Vastu? You have not arrived. A substance and attribute, what kind of a relationship is there? It is not understood at all. Vedanti only has the key. Vedanti only has a key. He can explain Savishesha Vastu. Very well explained. Very well. We'll see that in verse 52. But this is what it means here. So 5 doshas are there. Any Dvaita Shastram which is not accepting Nirvishesha Vastu will have these 5 doshas. Because any Dvaita Shastram has to accept attributes and substance, both things independent, naturally. And if he says if both the things are independent, then there will be a relationship between attribute and substance. That only when attribute plus substance becomes a Savishesha Vastu. And then what is the relationship is they are not able to arrive at. And therefore attribute and substance, please understand, I am telling you the answer Vedanti has in his mind. Attribute and substance, if both are real, and then you will have to find a connection between two. And you say, well, attribute resides in a substance. Substance is a supporter, and attribute is supported. One is adhara, another is adheya. And if you are going by that, all these doshas will come. All these doshas. Attribute reside in a substance. That substance is free from the attribute or with attribute. With attribute means which kind of attribute? Same attribute or different attribute? Different attribute possesses the substance. In that this attribute resides. Then that substance is free from the attribute or with attribute. If attributes and substance, guna and dravya are independent, they are true, then it will be always have these doshas. Don't try to see if logical fallacy in Vedanta. Your Savishesha Vastu you are not able to establish. Explain us without any logical defect Savishesha Vastu. Only Mithya will make sense, I tell you. Mithya makes sense. Word Mithya makes sense everywhere. Anyway, we'll see that later. So here we are saying Vikalpaha Nirvikalpasya Va Bhavet. This Vikalpa or Vishesha can reside in a Nirvikalpa Vastu, attribute-less. Attribute resides in an attribute-less Vastu, or Savikalpasya Va Bhavet. Or attributes reside in a substance which is already having attribute. Either these two possibilities are there, right? Then attribute resides in a Nirvikalpaka Vastu, Vikalpa reside in a Nirvikalpa Vastu is a Vyahati. Basically it's a contradiction. And Vikalpaha Savikalpasya Va Bhavet, that Vishesha or a Vikalpa existing in a substance which is already having a attribute, then we have another doshas. Then what are the doshas? Anavastha, Atma Shreya, Adi. Adi Padatta you have to add everything. What are the things I have to add? All other attributes you have to add. All other doshas you have to add. Chakratmaka, etc., etc. Anyonya Ashraya, all this infinite regression you have to add that by Adi Padat. Adi Padat means etc. So this is how we are telling. Adaya means this all. Now let's go to verse 51. Don't worry, that storm has come and gone. So don't worry now. Now relax. So, idam gunakriya jati dravya sambandha vastushu samam tena swarupasya sarvametaditishyata. So this is a logical problem, will be with anything. With a guna, with a jati, with a kriya, with a dravya, with a sambandha, all this. So here it has been said, idam guna kriya jati dravya sambandha vastushu samam. Idam means this doshas. These 5 doshas will be samam, equal for all. For all means either, if you say, like you say, jati resides in a jati or jati resides in a substance which is already jati, which has already jati or free from the jati. I will tell you. This is Pujya Swamiji's example. I was not telling, but now let me tell you. Pujya Swamiji explained at several places. A tree exists in treeness exists in what? Treeness is a jati. Vrikshatvam is a jati. Treeness exists in what? Now treeness exists already in tree, right? The treeness exists in a tree. Means tree has already treeness. then how come the treeness exists in a substance with a already treeness? How can it exist? Could you follow now? Which kind of dosha? Atmashraya. Self-dependence. How can it be? Cannot be. Oh, then it is free from any attributes. So, treeness can exist in a substance which has no attributes. Oh, then treeness can, how can the treeness, the substance with no attributes can become a locus for treeness? Treeness is a vishesha, feature. This is a problem. This is a problem. With all Dvaitavadins, maybe Sankhya, Vaisheshika, Nayayika, all these people who are counting all the time, Dravya, Guna, Kriya, Jati, Samavaya, Samanya, Vishesha, Abhava, several things they count. Nayayikas count 7. Sankhyas count 24. That is how they are Sankhyas. All the time Sankhya, Sankhya, Sankhya. Counting, counting and counting. Only counting. And we say, okay, you count. No problem. The world is made up of 7 building blocks. Nayayikas say. Dravya, Guna, Kriya, Jati, Samanya, Vishesha, Abhava. 7 things are there. 7 things are there. World consists of 7 things. You see. Okay, we'll see. Okay, we are seeing that. But then tell us, what's the relationship between this Dravya and this Guna? Oh, Guna is a feature that exists in a Dravya. Dravya is a locus. And Guna is something which is supported in that. Guna is not an independent thing. And Guna resides in a Dravya. Dravya is a locus for the Guna. And then this is a problem. This is the basic philosophy. They start with this. Tarka Shastra, there is a Tarka Sangraha book, very primary. There is that Tattva Bodha. Nayayika's Tattva Bodha is a Tarka Sangraha. And very first thing is this. Dravya Guna Kriya, Jati, etc. Dravya Guna Kriya, Jati, Samanya, that is Jati ne, Samanya, Vishesha, Samavaya, Abhava. Sapta Padartha. That is how they and then definition of Dravya, and then Dravya also are 9 types, and then Kriya of 5 types, Guna of 24 types, and like that. Keep on dividing and dividing. And they try to find a relationship. When Vedanti asks what is an interrelationship, they cannot explain. All Dvaita philosophy will be at a stake. That is how Guna is, we are asking you, sir, Guna is resting in Sagunam or Nirgunam? We are asking you now. Why are you silent? Answer us. We are telling them. You have asked question and laughing at us. Now you tell us. Forget about our Nirgunam. Your Sagunam, that Guna resting in Sagunam or Nirgunam? Guna resting in something which is already having a Guna, or Guna resting in something which is free from the Guna? You tell us now. No answer. Either way problem. If Vastu is a Nirgunam, attributeless, then how Guna resides in that? No, it is already Sagunam. Then all this will follow now. Atmashraya and this. All the things. Still we have not arrived at what is Sagunam. We have not arrived at. We are better off than you. We tell it is mithya, we don't bother, we eat food and sleep. We tell it mithya. You keep on dividing and doing and doing. Kriya is resting in a Sakriyam or Nishkriyam? We are asking him. Why? But why are you asking us? No, this is in verse number 51. Idam guna kriya jati dravya sambandha vastushu samam. With respect to all these 5, this question can be asked, and this dosha will be there. That doshas are equal. All these 5 doshas exist in this way. Well, kriya, that action, rest upon a actionless substance or a substance with action. You tell us. Jati, rest upon a substance with a jati or without jati. That is how Swamiji used to prove it. That treeness exists in a substance which is free from jati, then it will be anavastha, or it will be atmashraya. Any dosha will come. And I will tell you something which Pujya Swamiji has told in Taittiriya, that I will tell you on, because today's it is enough. The hard disk is full now. So we don't want to now. But this is what ultimately Nirgunam is. We are going to tell it. We are going to tell it. We have nothing to worry about. Sambandha is resting in a substance with relationship or without relationship. That is how it is. You can extrapolate these logical fallacies in all this guna, kriya, jati, sambandha. If you are going to answer, you will have to face these 5 logical fallacies. Nothing is free. So idam dosha jatam, this 5-fold fallacies, samam, equal in all. Which kind of doshas? The vyaghatadi, this vyaghatam, etc., atmashraya, anyonya ashraya, chakratmakam, anavastha, all these 5 doshas will be there. When you talk about, you take any vishesha, take a jati and check whether jati exists in a substance which is free from the jati or with jati. Anyway, so Nayayikas basically, for them this was a problem, because they have defined a substance as a base of an attributes and etc., etc. And so for them vriksha is a base, base for, or a adhara for a vrikshatva jati, etc. And well, so, and with our Vedanti answers here, tena swarupasya sarvametad iti ishyata. Iti ishyata. Let it be understood, let it be agreed upon by both of us. What? What is to be agreed upon? Sarvam etat swarupasya. All these visheshas belong to Swarupam, belong to me. Hey? All these visheshas belong to you. All these visheshas belong to tree. All the visheshas belong to computer. What are you talking? What are you talking? We are tired of you now. That is so what are you talking? If all attributes rest in what? Swarupasya, Brahmana. If all these things exist in Brahman. So Brahman is, okay, wait a minute. Nayayika says, he got suddenly a charm. All these attributes exist in Brahman? Yeah. Your Brahman is attributeless or with attributes? Our Brahman is attributeless. Oh, all attributeless exist in attributeless Brahman? Yeah. Then you will also have the same dosha, atmashraya, right? That vyagata. You say all attributeless substance cannot have any attribute. Your Brahman is attributeless, nirguna. And you say all attributes, guna, kriya, jati, all this exist in Brahman. When Nayayika was saying, when I was saying, you were saying you are vadato vyagata, you have contradiction. You see the possibility, first possibility, very first possibility. Attribute exists in a substance which is free from the attribute, attributeless. So now you are telling all the attributes exist in attributeless Brahman. So you don't have a vyagata, you don't have a contradiction. You are shameless, basically. Shamelessly you are telling me all these things. So then you have to prove now. All the attributes exist in attributeless Brahman. Yeah, we are ready. That's why we have taken the mic. And after 15 days we'll answer. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.
Hari Om Swami, one clarifying question.
Yes.
So